Good morning, Kevin McCullough. There's a live shot of the radar, at least as of a minute ago. It was the most recent reading. The storm hovering a bit. The cluster there, you see just south of the 250-mile line there, the storm still pretty intense over Charleston. You got Jacksonville all the way down. You can't see it on the screen there, but Orlando is south of there. That is a very intense cluster there. And then it looks like some of the tough stuff is starting to come ashore there in just above the North Carolina southern border now. So you see that real intense, angry kind of red spot right there on the North Carolina area. And then it hasn't moved a whole lot. The eye is still about 250 miles offshore of South Carolina, and but it is about 300 miles wide from the eye to the extension on every side. So as you can tell, it is a huge, huge storm. And if you're in its way, be warned and take precautions. You don't mess around with this stuff. Kevin McCullough, glad you're with us. Okay, I've got a final subject. We're actually working everything in quite nicely today. I was surprised. There is a, well, the 10th commemoration of 9/11 is just around the corner. And I don't call it anniversary because anniversary is typically something that one celebrates. We do not celebrate this. We commemorate it. We memorialize it. But 9/11, you know, there's a whole bunch of children now that are under 10 years of age. If you're under 10, you were not alive when 9/11 occurred. And it's one of those things where parents trying to communicate to their young people about what it is and so forth might have a hard time. And so I don't really know the full motives behind the company that attempted to develop a coloring book called We Shall Never Forget. But a local Dallas NBC station carried this story last night.
Alexis Brown is responsible for watching these young kids for an after-school YMCA program. Colorful backpacks and a lively bunch. A stark contrast to this coloring book called We Shall Never Forget 9/11, the Kids' Book of Freedom. Look at these images, the Twin Towers burning and someone talking to President Bush. And this one, a military gunman shooting a bullet at Osama bin Laden raiding his compound. We showed it to Brown and others.
I don't like it.
Can you believe that you're seeing this?
No, I don't believe that at all. I don't like it at all. It's too much.
It all depends on how old the child is. I don't think the kids should see all that violence.
The publisher of the coloring book said it's a factual teaching tool about the attacks and war on terror. But the executive director of the Council of American Islamic Relations in Michigan believes the images and storyline paints all Muslims as radicals and is misleading.
It's not even factual. He didn't even have his wife. Not that I love that guy.
Josh Ledbetter thinks the images are disturbing, and so does his 6-year-old son. Osama bin Laden being shot.
I don't think that's something for children.
Can you believe someone actually created this?
I can believe that someone actually created it because there are a lot of ignorant people in this world, but I wouldn't distribute it to my kids.
Yeah.
You don't like it? What? Do you know why you don't like it? You just don't like it.
What would you rather color?
What kind of coloring books do you like?
Superhero?
Like many kids, he prefers more innocent images, like Spider-Man coloring books.
Okay, now what was it?
Well, just in case you wanted to know, this coloring book here is PG rated and only available online. Now, many folks that I talked to tonight, they said they would never even let their kids look at those images, let alone buy it. Gene Kang, WHAS 11 News.
All right. I don't know the motives or the motivation behind why the person created it. But you do have a whole lot of kids that are, that have grown up not knowing 9/11, not knowing a world previous to 9/11, and really can't relate to the tragedy of that day. This is we shall never forget. The object of the person that put this together is obviously intending to help children deal with the issue of the day. You even see on the cover, and Ivan, scroll in and get a shot of the cover because there's one in that video. But you even see on the cover that there's a model of the Freedom Tower that's coming up. There's a policeman's hat. There is a fireman's hat. There's a shot of the Twin Towers. Earlier in the piece, there was a full screen. You could see the whole cover on the screen. Ivan, you can find it. But inside, there are a couple of pictures of the Twin Towers on fire. There is the one shot of the raid on Osama bin Laden's compound and the man firing the bullet at him. Are kids too innocent to be able to deal with these images? What's your take on this? 877-572-8446, 877-572-8446. And the author of the coloring book did label it rated PG. So he's assuming you're not going to have, 2-year-olds working with this to begin with. So what is your take on this? Is it there it is. See, you got the Freedom Tower. Down at the bottom, you've got a fireman's helmet. You've got the police hat. I don't know what that big gold thing is there in the middle. Not sure what that is at all. But you've got the former Twin Towers, and then you've got the model of the new Freedom Tower that is under construction. And, of course, it's titled We Shall Never Forget 9/11, the Kids' Book of Freedom. 877-572-8446, 877-572-8446. We are screening your calls fast and furious. I'm quite confident. As fast and as furiously as we can. 877-572-8446. Are kids too young to be able to deal with the commemoration of 9/11? Are you going to shield them from observances of that day? It falls on a Sunday this year. Our church is intending on dealing with it in a public observance. I also happen to be leading worship that morning, so it's going to be an interesting day. But is a coloring book an inappropriate venue to deal with the issue of whether or not kids observe and memorialize 9/11 in an appropriate way? What do you think? 877-572-8446. 877-572-8446. By the way, the fact that he showed a CARE spokesperson in the news story, and he said, "Oh, this is inaccurate," that doesn't give me 1 ounce of confidence that there is an actual inaccuracy in the book. CARE, the Council on American Islamic Relations, is an organization not to be trusted. They lie constantly. They make things up. They claim that people are, washing all Muslims with a broad brush when some of us say, and they take great offense to it. 877-572-8446. Is this appropriate coloring book material for children? The We Shall Never Forget Kids' Book of Freedom 9/11. No one has an opinion on this. We had 2 people on the line just a second ago. Really? No one has an opinion? Would you buy this coloring book for your grandchild? For your own children? Would you let them have it if somebody gave it to them? 877-572-8446. Bruce Phelps, an online columnist for NBC, said that those who don't learn from history are destined to repeat it. He agrees. Lessons, though, come in different forms and different degrees. A coloring book, graphic novel for kids might take the history lesson of terroristic acts in the United States and the war on terrorism to an extreme degree. Might. He says, you decide. We Shall Never Forget 9/11 engages kids to color a depiction of flaming, smoking about to collapse World Trade Center towers. It also includes an image of a Navy SEAL, complete with a bullet in mid-flight firing on Osama bin Laden. He writes, so what color is tragedy? What shade is cowardice? Hides behind a woman when facing his certain death. The book looks to be intended for kids 7 to 8 years of age Too much for that age, or too ageless of a lesson to delay teaching to that age of children? He says the book also contains a narrative. Said it was created with honesty, integrity, reverence, respect, and does not shy away from the truth. One page illustrating the immediate aftermath of the attacks depicts what looks like a TV news anchor reporting that bin Laden was indeed the mastermind. The page includes the line, "These attacks will change the way America deals with and views the Islamic and Muslim people around the world." Shouldn't that be extremist Islamic terrorists and not the religion and its adherents as a whole? And he says, then again, the author of the coloring book didn't say anything about trying to be objective about the book. 877-572-8446. I'm interested in your thoughts. 877-572-8446. A different Shirley is with us, this one from Texas. Good morning, Shirley. Welcome to the Kevin McCullough Show.
Good morning, Kevin. I just wonder when we are going to stop worrying about teaching history to our children. This is part of history. So much, I think, of what is wrong today, we have lost the knowledge of history in our nation. And a nation that forgets where it came from and the things that happened is a nation in trouble. And I think we're in trouble because we just, it's like we want to...
Shirley, real quick, yes or no, would you give the book to your grandchild?
I definitely would.
All right. Thanks for answering honestly. Coming back with more of your calls next.